It's 12 o'clock GMT, and you're welcome to the AAU TV Midweek News. We are coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. And now to our top stories for today. In higher education, Ghana and Italy deepening ties through education and innovation. In health, WHO raises alarm over the spread of Ebola in DR Congo. And business, Kenya's electric motorcycle increases as riders escape rising fuel cost. An international deadly Russian missile strike hit multiple Ukrainian cities. Please stay with us for more news on the AAU TV Midweek News. My name is Jemima, Deladem, Dotsey. Welcome back from the break, and now to the news in detail. South Africa lost 345,000 jobs in the first quarter of 2026, with unemployment climbing to 32.7% as new data from Statistics South Africa reignited urgent debate about the country's deepening jobs and skill crisis. Released in mid-May, the quarterly labor force survey reveals that 8.1 million South Africans are now unemployed, while youth unemployment among those aged 15 to 34 has reached 45.8%. But analysts warn the figures exposes not just an unemployment crisis, but a growing disconnect between qualifications and practical skills employers actually need.
The survey reveals that 3.9 million South Africans aged 15 to 24, representing 37.6% of that age group, are not in employment, education, or training, a figure that underscores the urgency of the crisis facing the country's youth. Yet, despite record unemployment, many businesses are struggling to find workplace-ready candidates with the technical skills, practical competence, and operational understanding required in modern working environments. High unemployment, analysts say, does not automatically translate into a readily employable workforce. The data highlights a complex reality. While overall employment fell sharply during the quarter, some sectors still created jobs. Manufacturing added 38,000 positions, mining added 22,000, and agriculture added 10,000. At the same time, community and social service lost 206,000 jobs, construction lost 110,000, and transport lost 30,000. Employers are increasingly prioritizing practical, workplace-ready skills over purely theoretical qualifications without growing demand for capabilities such as AI awareness, technology literacy, cybersecurity, quality management, and operational competence. Experts say training systems need for closer alignment with actual labor market demands, and that learnerships, workplace exposure, and occupational aligned programs are becoming critical tools for connecting young South Africans to sustainable employment. South Africa's latest labor figures, they warn, should be read not only as an unemployable crisis, but as an urgent workforce readiness warning.
Moving on, Ghana and Italy have renewed their commitment to strengthen cooperation in education following a high-level meeting in Accra on Monday between Education Minister Haruna Idrisu and Italian Ambassador Laura Ranelli. The discussion focused on expanding collaboration in tertiary education, technical and vocational training, research, innovation, scholarship, and academic exchange programs. The move aims to enhance academic opportunities, improve skill development, and strengthen institutional partnership between the two countries through university collaborations, student exchanges, and joint research initiatives.
The meeting held in Accra brought together senior officials from Ghana's education sector and representatives of Italian academic institutes to explore new areas of collaboration, Education Minister Haruna Idrisu assured the Italian delegation of the government's commitment to supporting partnerships between Ghanaian and Italian universities. He explained that Ghana would facilitate collaborative programs while ensuring they meet the country's regulatory and quality assurance requirements. The minister noted that the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission would play a key role in overseeing accreditation and maintaining standards for programs developed under the partnership. Mr. Idrisu also announced plans to establish a dedicated technical and vocational education and training fund to strengthen technical education and improve collaboration between industry and educational institutions. He further revealed plans to expand foreign language studies in senior high schools, including the introduction of Italian, German, Spanish, and Chinese to equip students with global competencies. The Italian delegation included the rector of the University of Padua, Professor Daniela Mappelli, who highlighted her institution's commitment to internalization and academic cooperation. Professor Mappelli indicated that the university is interested in expanding exchange programs, particularly for doctoral students, and views Ghanaian universities as important partners. She added that the University of Padua already has a partnership with KNUST and is seeking to extend cooperation to other institutions across Ghana. The meeting also explored scholarship opportunities and broader academic exchanges aimed at strengthening educational ties between Ghana and Italy.
In health, the World Health Organization has raised concerns about the worsening Ebola outbreak in Northeastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where 676 confirmed cases and 136 deaths have been recorded since the outbreak was declared on May 15th. The virus caused by a rare Budunyogo strain has spread across into North Kivu and South Kivu provinces, prompting calls for stronger containment measures. Health officials say increasing infections, cross-border transmission into Uganda, and limited treatment capacity are driving urgent response, with surveillance, contact tracing, and isolation efforts being intensified to curb further spread.
According to the World Health Organization, the outbreak is expanding both in the number of infections and the areas affected. WHO Head of Epidemiology and Analytics for Response, Olivier Lepollet, said new cases are being detected almost daily across health zones in the 3 affected provinces. Speaking from Beni in North Kivu, he explained that the growing number of cases reflects a much larger outbreak than what has currently been detected, compounded by the high mobility of local population. He further noted that while some recent infections are linked to travel from hotspot areas, there's now evidence of community transmission in newly affected locations. The WHO has also identified several high-risk areas where surveillance remains limited, making it difficult to track the full extent of the outbreak. Health officials warn that the current capacity of 250 isolation beds is inadequate and must be expanded rapidly to meet growing demand. Although contact tracing efforts has improved to just over 70%, the WHO says additional resources, medical supplies, and safe isolation facilities are urgently needed. The outbreak has also spread into Uganda, where 19 cases and 2 deaths has been confirmed. While the African Union's health agency says the situation in Uganda remains under control, regional health authorities continue to strengthen monitoring and response measures as efforts to contain the virus intensifies. Health authorities continue to urge the public to strictly observe preventive measures, including regular hand washing with soap, the use of alcohol-based hand sanitizers, maintaining respiratory hygiene by covering coughs and sneezes, avoiding close contact with sick individuals, and seeking early medical attention when symptoms appear.
Stay tuned for Discovery News after the break. Hello Africa is your live breakfast show delivering informative, entertaining, and energizing start to your day.
Our expert reviews break down the headlines and help you make sense of today's news.
We bring you nothing but the most interesting highlights on our top African stories.
Plus lifestyle features, inspiring interviews, and the best on the continent.
Every episode is packed with stories that inform, inspire, and celebrate the spirit of the continent.
Catch us live every Monday at 9 a.m.
And be part of the conversation on our social media platforms.
Hello Africa, bringing the continent to your morning.
Welcome back from the break and now to our discovery story. Ghana is set to build a $1 billion innovation hub in Ingo Pram through a partnership with the United Arab Emirates, led by Port Custom Free Zone Corporation and G42, to position the country as West Africa's leading artificial intelligence hub. The project, signed on Thursday through a memorandum of understanding between Ghana's Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation and the UAE partners, aims to develop AI infrastructure, create jobs, and support the government's 1 million coders program by training and employing local talent in the fast-growing technology sector.
The Innovation Hub is expected to serve as a major center for artificial intelligence development, bringing together global technology firms and local talent under one ecosystem. This forms part of government effort to position Ghana as the leading artificial intelligence hub in West Africa. Minister Samuel Natejot said, the project aligns with President John Mahama's vision of transforming Ghana into a regional center for AI development. He noted that the President's 1 million coders program is designed to equip young people with digital and artificial intelligence skills to meet future job demands. The minister explained that the Innovation Hub is expected to bridge the gap between training and employment by attracting global technology companies into Ghana. He added that G42 has played a key role in developing Dubai's AI ecosystem, while Port's Custom Free Zone Corporation operates more than 11 innovation hubs in the United Arab Emirates. The project is also expected to bring in more than 11,000 companies under the PCFC network to establish a presence in Ghana. The first phase of the project will be developed on a 25-acre site, with construction expected to begin in 2026 and be completed within 2 years. UAE partner Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem said, the world is now driven by ideas and innovation, and Ghana has the potential to follow the technological path of advanced economies. He added that the Innovation Hub will help build AI capacity, create jobs for young people, and strengthen Ghana's digital economy. Officials say the project marks one of the largest technology investments in Ghana's recent history.
In sports, Somali referee Omar Aton has been denied entry into the United States ahead of the World Cup after an 11th-hour interrogation at Miami International Airport, where immigration authorities rejected his diplomatic passport and visa over alleged security concerns. The incident, which occurred on Monday in the United States, comes despite Aton being scheduled to officiate at the tournament. Although he will not participate fully, FIFA has confirmed he would still receive his full tournament fee as the governing body reviews the exceptional circumstances surrounding his removal and travel restrictions as affecting several countries.
The Somali referee was detained and questioned for several hours upon arrival in Miami before being denied entry into the United States. U.S. authorities later said that the decision was linked to concerns over alleged associations, although no formal charges were made. Artan was denying any wrongdoing, saying he fully complied with the visa requirement and had no ties with any militant group. After the decision, he was returned on a flight to Turkey, where FIFA officials later assisted him with onward travel back to Somalia. Despite being ruled out of the tournament, football's world governing body has confirmed that he will still receive his full match fee. Officials say the payment will be made in line with standard FIFA policy, which disburses referee fees after the conclusion of major tournament. The 34-year-old, who was named CAF Men's Referee of the Year 2025, has since received new international assignment, including a UEFA Super Cup appointment in Austria. Artan has expressed gratitude for the support he has received and says he remains focused on future opportunities at the highest level of the sport. He has also vowed to continue his career with the ambition of officiating at a future World Cup.
In entertainment, Nigeria and Ghana are mourning the death of veteran Nollywood actor Professor Kola Oyewo and celebrated Ghanaian fashion designer Sadia Sanusi, both of whom passed away in 2026, leaving behind major legacies in the creative art industry. Oyewo, who died peacefully at the age of 80 in Nigeria, was a renowned theater scholar and film actor whose career spanned over 6 decades, while Sanusi's passing has sent shockwaves through Ghana's fashion community, following her influential work in kente couture and mentorship of young designers. The death, confirmed by industry colleagues and shared widely on social media, have equally triggered nationwide tribute, highlighting their impact on theater, cinema, and fashion across West Africa.
In Nigeria, tributes continue to pour in for Professor Kola Oyewo, whose death marks the end of a career that shaped both stage performance and academic theater training. Known for his commanding presence on screen and stage, he became one of the defining figures in Yoruba traveling theater before transitioning into Nollywood production that reached wider audience across Africa. He later moved into academia, where he trained and mentored generations of theater practitioners, contributing to institutions including Obafemi Awolowo University, Redeemers University, and Elizade University. Over more than 6 decades, he built a reputation as a bridge between traditional performance art and modern cinematic storytelling. In Ghana, the fashion industry is also in mourning following the reported passing of designer Sadia Sanusi, whose work redefined contemporary African fashion through innovative kente designs. She was recognized for blending heritage textiles with modern couture, helping to position Ghanaian fashion on the international stage. At the time of her death, she had been actively promoting a kente artistry masterclass aimed at training emerging designers and strengthening local craftsmanship. Her passing has been described by industry colleagues as a major loss to the creative sector, particularly at a time when she was expanding her mentorship and design initiatives. Together, both figures are being remembered for their lasting influence on African culture, creativity, and the development of the arts across the region.
Rising fuel prices triggered by conflicts in the Middle East are driving a rapid shift towards electric motorcycles in Kenya, where riders and delivery workers are switching to cheaper alternatives as petrol costs increase. The transition taking place across major urban centers, including Nairobi in 2026, is being fueled by a sharp rise in operating costs, growing demand for affordable transport, and expanding investments by electric mobility companies. Thousands of riders are adopting electric bikes by replacing fuel-based motorcycles with battery swapping system and locally assembled models, resulting in a surge in sales and a broader transformation of urban mobility.
The change to electric motorcycles is most visible among delivery workers and motorcycle taxi operators, whose fuel costs had become unsustainable in recent months. With earnings under pressure, many report that switching to electric models is helping them retain more of their daily income. The trend has triggered rapid expansion across East Africa's electric mobility sector, with manufacturers increasing production capacity and deploying more battery swapping infrastructure to meet growing demand. Assembly lines in major cities are now operating at higher output levels as orders continue to rise. Analysts link the shift not only to affordability, but also to Kenya's reliance on locally generated renewable electricity, which makes electric transport a cheaper and more stable option compared to imported fuel. Governments in the region are also supporting similar transitions as part of broader clean energy transport strategies. Industry players say the combination of rising fuel prices, lower operating costs, and expanding infrastructure is accelerating adoption at a pace not previously seen, positioning electric motorcycles as a key feature of Kenya's evolving transport landscape.
Ukraine has been struck by renewed Russian missile and drone attacks overnight into Monday across major cities, including Kyiv, Kharkiv, and other frontline regions, leaving civilians and rescue workers dead and causing extensive damage and residential areas and cultural sites in 2026. The assault carried out as part of the ongoing war that has lasted more than 4 years involved large-scale aerial bombardment targeting key urban infrastructure, emergency response units, and strategic locations. The strikes were executed through coordinated missile and drone operations, prompting widespread distraction and emergency responses, even as international diplomatic discussions continue to broader efforts to reduce global and regional conflicts.
The overnight assault saw multiple waves of missiles and drones striking several Ukrainian cities, triggering air raid alerts and forcing residents to seek shelter as explosions lit up the night sky. Emergency services were immediately deployed to contain fires and rescue those trapped in damaged buildings. In the capital, parts of historic and religious sites were engulfed in flames after being hit during the bombardment, with firefighters later coming under attack while responding to the scene. Casualties were reported among both civilians and emergency personnel as operations continued under difficult conditions. Regional authorities confirmed that the attacks extended beyond Kyiv, with impact also recorded in northeastern and southeastern areas where frontline fighting remains active. Large numbers of drones and missiles were launched, with air defense units intercepting many, though several reached their targets. Officials described extensive damage to infrastructure and residential areas, while both sides continue to dispute responsibility for specific strikes and targets. The escalation underscores the continuity intensity of the conflict, even as diplomatic engagement elsewhere seek pathways towards de-escalation.
Thanks for sticking with us, and now let's take a quick look at our top stories. In higher education, Ghana and Italy deepening ties through education and innovation. In health, WHO raises alarm over the spread of Ebola in DR Congo. In business, Kenya's electric motorcycle increases as riders escape rising fuel costs. An international deadly Russian missile strike hits multiple Ukrainian cities. But before we go, we know that today Ghana is playing. But before Ghana plays, Congo is playing with Portugal at 5 p.m. And of course, Ghana is playing with Panama at 11 p.m. And of course, as you can see me wearing the Ghana jersey, it shouldn't tell you otherwise. I'm supporting Ghana, and we are hoping that Ghana will score 2 goals against Panama. Thanks for sticking with us on the AAU TV Midweek News. You can also follow us on our various social media platforms, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Jemima Deladem. Have a lovely day.